millions of us will resolve to make a fresh start this week, whether that's joining a gym, eating healthier or seeing more of our families in the new year. So why not take the same approach with your investments? This is the ideal moment to review your plans and exchange for performing funds for one set to soar. Here, Money Mail asks the experts to tip places where shares will boom or bust in 2018. Investors have shunned Japan since the early 90s, when a stock market crash left savers with their fingers burned. This plunged the land of the rising sun into years of economic stagnation, referred to as its lost decade. It's clear that Shinzo Abe's mission to reform the Japanese economy is starting to bear fruit. Now Abe has been re-elected, it should be great news for the stock market, which I think will have another strong year in 2018. Mr Lowcock believes GLG Japan Core Alpha and Gifford Japanese are two of the best funds to invest in Japan. GLG Japan Core Alpha's three biggest stock picks are the motoring giants Toyota, Honda, and Mitsubishi. It also invests £5.10 in every £100 of savers' cash in Japan Post Holdings, the state-run company that delivers the country's post. The telecommunications giant is also trying to buy a 30% stake in Uber, the cab-hailing app, for £36 billion. Around 2.7% of the fund's cash is invested in store.The company, which owns Sozotown, Japan's most popular online store. Remainers have repeatedly talked down the British economy since the Brexit vote last year. Investors have pulled nearly £4.3 billion from UK funds over the past 18 months. Another factor in the mix are fears that the stock market would plummet if Labour wrestles power back from the Conservatives and Jeremy Corbyn implements his threatened hard left policies. But despite the doom-mongering, the raw data shows that Britain's economy has kept ticking over. Unemployment is low, wages are rising, albeit slowly, and the economy has been forecast to grow by at least 1.5% this year and next, according to the International Monetary Fund. Companies that do most of their business in Britain are valued quite low, but that could change if the UK and the EU strike up a good trade deal. The fall in value in the pound has given these firms a boost because the dollars they earn are worth more when converted back into British currency. With Brexit still a major unknown, think of Britain as your investment wildcard. The fund, which has turned £10,000 into £19,350 in the past 5 years, is packed with British giants that earn most of their money overseas, such as Johnnie Walker whiskey maker Diageo and Unilever, the company behind Marmite. India is one of the world's fastest growing major economies. Annual rises in the value of its economy are expected to jump from 6.7% this year to 7.4% by 2019. In fact, Sebastian Vergara, one of the UN's economic experts, said this month that India can grow at 8% a year for the next 20 years if it manages to encourage businesses to grow by plowing profits back into the country and improving living standards. It also has a growing middle class with money to spend. The rise of the Indian consumer is great news for companies providing goods and services. But while there is a clear case for investing in India, experts say you should expect a bumpy ride for your investments. Ryan Hughes, a broker at Bell, says, for years India has lived in the shadow of China. But in the past few years it has become a better place for shareholders, it has a strong democracy, and it is working to drive out corruption. investing in India is never going to be smooth and plain sailing, but over the long term India is a country that really excites me. He tips Jupiter India, which has turned £10,000 into £22,900 in 5 years. All of its biggest picks are Biocon and State Bank of India, the country's largest biopharmaceutical company and bank respectively. Another is Interglobe Aviation, which owns Indigo, India's largest airline. Late Kellett, a broker Hargreaves Lansdown, tips Stewart Investors Asia Pacific Leaders, which has turned £10,000 into £16,772 in 5 years. One of its biggest holdings is Mumbai-based Mahindra & Mahindra, which manufactures tractors, cars and 4x4s. U.S. heading for another crash since Donald Trump entered the White House in January. S's best-known stock indices. When Mr. Trump got into power, we would be sitting on £12,500 today. Some experts expect these cuts, which encourage major international firms to bring back profits stashed overseas, to push you. Experts also warn that U.S. stocks are already vastly overpriced and warn that a so-called correction is overdue. There is also a risk, however small, that the outspoken Mr. Trump may provoke a nuclear conflict with pariah state North Korea, which has frequently warned of its willingness to go to war with the world superpower. All of this has spooked foreign investors, with £3 billion more foreign investment leaving the country than coming in. Mr. He says investors should proceed with caution. He says a better strategy than backing South Africa specifically is to invest in a broader fund where the manager can pick and choose between countries that are on the up. Its biggest hit, accounting for 10% of all of the money it invests, is Naspers, which is based in Cape Town, South Africa, and is one of the largest technology investors in the world. On October 1st, residents of Catalonia, one of Spain's wealthiest regions, voted overwhelmingly to become a separate country, even though Spanish authorities declared the referendum illegal. But most of this came in a blistering start, and share prices have steadily fallen for the past 8 months. Leif Calip, of Hargreaves Lansdown, says, Spain still has problems, not least that its economy is stuttering, and unemployment is high. He tips Jupiter European, which invests roughly £10 in every £100 in Spain, including in Amadeus Group, a major provider for the travel and tourism industries.